deja vu when I'm riding up these rats. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. It's returning to man.
Guess I'm back. I won my appeal. I won my appeal. I'm 2 accounts down. I was about to be 3. Wow. I'm back.
When I used to drive a Fiat. Now they looking for me like I'm Ray Epps. It's a conspiracy how I keep on getting checks. This money keep on falling like it's dominoes. Special delivery and I got a lot to blow. Feeling like I've been.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Wow. That's why I say I'm very convinced we would be a lot further on this platform if the hate wouldn't be what it is. And you just have to ask yourself, what have I done on this app, ladies and gentlemen, that's got these people worked up to this level? And I guess I do need to really start thinking about taking this platform to maybe more friendlier territory. All right, let's W Zeus. Yeah, because I'm already 2 accounts down. If this account goes down, then we're just going to take a break. It's going to be like I'm on an extended vacation or something. But I do hope you all enjoyed the way that I was able to combine all of the things that are going on in this country and tie it to the current administration, because they really are liable. Yeah, they reported me and they said it was misinformation. Yeah. But then, yeah, I do got to do it. WVIP. Actually, yeah. I need a podcast on Spotify. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you spend so much. Hold on. The thing is, you spend a lot of time, kind of trying to keep up with all of this stuff. And then you have to take time out because, we all have busy lives, and really get out here and do things to try to save this great country. Like, I don't think a lot of us are, able to join the United States Armed Services, right? And especially now, who will want to serve under Donald Trump? No offense to those. You're like the 3rd or 4th person I follow that's on the 3rd account this week. Wow. Thank you. But a lot of us, we really, and this is it takes a lot of effort, and it does take a lot of energy to get out here and just park it for a few hours and just engage, right? And try to save this great country of ours. And that's really why we all do what we do, that are actively out here trying to get the truth out. It's really because we love our country, and we understand the threat that MAGA has, brought against this country right now. Right now, we see the National Guard being weaponized, and I feel bad because I would imagine, being one of those men and women in the uniform, having to have the thought in your mind, like, I actually might have to do something unlawful to another American citizen. And that would be a difficult thing for me to actually come to grips with. And I said this to myself, and, everyone can deal with it however they want to deal with it. If I ever was serving in the United States Armed Services and I got an unlawful order from this guy, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Do what you got to do, right? That's what I would do. I'm not going to do it. Do what you got to do, all right? If that means you got to cut my water off, you're going to do that anyway. So why do that? Because at the end of the day, you have to understand that Donald Trump won't be the president forever. I mean, even if he tries to run, he can't outrun God. He can't outrun health. He's not going to be the president forever. And at a certain point, all of the people who are in his cabinet that are doing these things that are unlawful, the country is just ran in a way where eventually folks want accountability. Yeah, we want to know why the decision was made. And if it turns out that crimes were committed in that process, then we're going to demand accountability. And so that's what I caution all elected officials, public servants, to remember. Your oath really shouldn't be to Donald Trump. It really should be to the Constitution and the American people. W. Zeus. So let's try this. Yeah, I'm back. And as you can see, I'm keeping the gloves on because I'm on my 3rd account. So if you all understand, like, Zeus, why are you just allowing this to go on and on? I'm being, because we're on our 3rd account and I don't want to push it. All right. So let's go to the audience. Do I have anybody out there that's brave enough to get in the box and get up here and tell the truth? And I want to start with the Trump voters. All right. that any Trump supporters out there, all right, you don't got to kid up here and yell and huff and puff. Yeah, Maddie, you said I'm being targeted. Yeah, and you can see that because on my other account, you see me post that video of me walking out of the Kamala Harris, her book tour, and I walked out of there. And you should have seen it. The cameras were there, and then I guess they could. Can you? We need to talk to you because you look like a swaggarian, or that's a barbarian with swag. And I went over there and I said, yeah, she did an outstanding job, honestly keeping it real. And so, yeah, they don't want voices like mine to be heard because they actually, when I speak, and not just me, but a lot of you brave people. Okay, Jeff, come on up here. When I speak, we make progress, and I appreciate it when the progress is made. Because sometimes the Trump voters do come back to me like Christina did, very beautiful, and just admitted that, it's not been as what she signed up for. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Dark Zeus?
I'm doing all right. Welcome to the show. And what's up with that profile picture? Is
Well,
this your...
I'd had a heart attack and a seizure from a car accident
Oh,
4 years ago, and I went down to 127 pounds. I was in the hospital for
oh,
6 weeks, and I
okay.
just started. I was an ex-Marine, and I figured it's time to try to get back in shape again.
Okay, I'll
That's
take
a
your
that's
story
a
for what it
30-day
is.
picture right there.
All right, I'll take your story for what it is. And you said you're an ex-Marine, so you know what? Thank you for your service. But
Thanks.
I have a concern. Did I see you in the comments write something like you're a Trump voter?
Yes, I am.
And could you go ahead and let us all know why you are still supporting Donald Trump despite all the stuff that I've kind of covered? And
Well, the thing I say is, it goes both ways for both sides. The only thing I've seen the past 4 years is actually longer than that. The Democrats don't say anything good that they've done, but they just want to bash him all the time. It's like
no, but I'm looking
they're
for more
consumed by him.
I'm looking for a more, and I'm not trying to activate you, right? But this is a conversation. I'm asking you clearly and to be very clear minded without offloading and blaming other people. Why do you still support somebody who is basically taking away benefits from veterans, right? They could go look all of this stuff up. You
Hey,
know,
well, I'm on
he's
Medicare. I'm on
well,
Medicare, and
yeah,
it's
but he the big beautiful bill. You know what that did to Medicare, right? That's all about targeting the benefits you're getting and making sure you don't get them, right? Because in his mind, you're considered waste, fraud, and abuse. And you could go look this up yourself. He's raising prices on everyday Americans with his tariffs, right? It's very unpopular what he's doing. He's actually weaponizing our military against American citizens. Would you actually, since you served in the country and as a Marine, would you ever put on a uniform and then allow the president to deploy you to go target your fellow American?
Yes, I would. I actually was in a multi-level marketing company that Mr. Trump was the spokesperson for.
Hmm.
And he actually gave me some business advice for my real estate appraisal business that ended up
Did
helping me a ton. But do I agree with everything he says? No, sometimes I wish he'd just keep quiet. But I think if we give him a shot in the long run, things are going to work out.
Wow, I'm a little thrown off a little bit. You actually said you don't have a problem unaliving your fellow Americans.
No, I don't want to kill anybody.
Unalive, say unalive. Say we gotta keep it.
I don't want to unalive anybody, but
Okay,
I think there needs to be some action taken to get these morons off the street.
who are the morons?
Mostly the left wing loon.
Mm.
I mean, if we're going to be honest here, you see the way they act, the yelling, the
Is that
screaming.
illegal?
No, I just
Okay,
think
okay, okay. Oh,
it's immoral.
no.
It's immoral. Just because we have freedom of speech doesn't mean you can
You
just.
all
I
right,
mean, you ought to have some kind
all
of
right,
empathy.
okay, all right. So it's not illegal to yell and
I didn't say
express.
it was.
Okay, so why do you need to bring the military in? Let's just
Well,
think about
because
this,
they're
Jeff,
tearing
Jeff,
shit
Jeff,
up.
Jeff, Jeff. Let's just think about this real quick because I'm concerned that you believe the military. We have the most powerful military on the planet. Why do we need them to come patrol people who are simply yelling? Everyone yells, Jeff.
Well, no,
Everyone
it ain't
yelled.
just yelling. It's, how many times we
No,
had the
you
riots, the
no.
looting, the
Okay, the
burning.
cops can handle that, Jeff, right? Let's just stop there.
No, because the mayors of certain cities don't want to enact the police to take care of it. That's why Trump's sending them in.
Mm. So, in
I mean,
your
you
opinion,
agree with Chicago's
so
mayor?
no, so time out, Jeff. So we should get rid of cops. We should defund the police.
No, no way.
Oh, okay. So okay. So where are you making this assessment that the cops are basically useless, and you need the military? Where's the line at? Do you think we should defund the military? I mean, defund the police and just basically let the military run the law
No, no, I
enforcement?
don't think that.
Okay. So then dial it back. All right. So let me get you where you need to be. You don't need the military to fight crime in the country.
No, not if
All right.
things were
And
normal.
I also, Jeff, and this is the other thing that I wanted to address. Um, immoral. You said something, and it's a very, very big word for you. Immoral. You don't like the Democrats because we are, in your opinion, immoral.
No, not all Democrats.
But the ones
No,
that are,
I'm
you
just
don't like.
talking about
You
I'm not
don't.
a big woke person. I think that's
Je-
1% of the country gets all that attention. It's bull crap in my
But Jeff,
book.
what I'm looking for is the immoral. You don't like immoral people, correct?
No, I don't.
You don't like criminals, I would
No, I
imagine.
don't. I've never been to jail.
I got
No, I
to
don't
now.
like
Do
criminals.
you want to
I'm
change
from
your?
Baltimore
Hold
City,
on,
bro. You
hold on,
walk
hold
around
on,
Baltimore
hold on,
City and see what that
Jeff. I'm
city's
going to
like.
give you.
It's a zoo.
I'm going to ask you to restate what I just threw at you because you may have overlooked it. You don't like immoral people except
I don't like him more. I don't like all the ranting, the raving, the
no.
entitlement. I mean, it's
Okay,
ridiculous.
yeah, okay. So I'm going to help you along if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I don't like immoral people except Donald Trump. That's where you're at right now, correct?
Say that again.
I don't. Let's say it with me. I
I
don't
don't
like immoral people
like immoral people.
except Donald Trump.
I don't think he's immoral.
Well, I didn't throw that in there. I didn't ask you to add to what I'm doing, bro. But you need to repeat it. And the reason that I had to say it to you that way, Jeff, is because you know it. Has the man cheated on all three of his wives?
I don't think that's got anything to do with the presidency. Yeah, I mean, he might have.
Okay, Jeff.
Nobody said anything when
Jeff,
Clinton got a blowjob in the White House.
Jeff, I'm trying to make sure you don't have a moment on the show, and you don't need to elevate your body and your blood pressure, bro. I'm just asking for honesty. Did Donald Trump cheat on all three of his wives?
I believe he did.
Okay, stop. Is that moral or immoral?
No, it's immoral.
Okay, stop. That's all I needed you to say. Did Donald Trump get convicted of any crimes?
Yeah, but I
Okay,
believe
stop, stop, stop.
most of them have been overturned.
Jeff, you're gonna get
No,
worked
no,
up.
no,
Jeff,
no,
you're going to
no.
get
Most of them have been
Jeff,
overturned.
Jeff. You are going to get worked up, bro. Calm down.
I'm fine.
It's a yes or a no, bro. Did he get convicted of crimes?
Yes, and I
Okay, stop,
believe they
stop,
were
stop.
overturned.
Jeff, you did it again, bro.
No, you're not going to do that to me. You know you're not going to do that. Look at the history.
No, Jeff.
Everything that's been brought against him has been
Jeff.
overturned.
Okay, Jeff. Listen, I've never met you. I have no reason to lie. And the convictions, I don't know what TikTok video you watched, but they have not been overturned. As it stands, yes, he's a criminal. So I need you to sit on that for a second. Don't say anything. Let's let that sink in for a quick second. He's a criminal. Okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. And again, if it was any other politician, I would be willing to do the same thing. So we also know that immoral, this is an interesting thing. There's a woman named E. Jean Carroll. You ever heard of her?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, you should look into her. But she actually took him to court, and he was found to have been liable, all right, for SA. You know what that is? Take a guess. Don't say it, but you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Trump is liable for that and defamation. Would that be? Would that make him moral or immoral if he has been found to have been, conducted SA?
Yeah, I said he was immoral.
Okay, okay. Thank you. And I appreciate this. And I think I want to do one more example. I think I could do another example. What do I want to do?
Well, let me ask you a question while you're thinking.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of
Do you think it was immoral what the Democrats did, hiding that Biden was fine?
Oh, I know what I thought about. I figured it out, Jeff. Have you heard of Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. What do you think of Jeffrey?
I think he's a piece.
POS?
Yeah.
Donald Trump said he was a terrific guy.
Well, I mean, maybe he was when he met him. I don't know. Maybe does Trump know?
Well, no.
Did Trump have any knowledge of what was going on? I don't know.
Yeah,
that.
he did. Trump knew.
How do you know that?
Howard Lutnick just acknowledged it on an interview, and they actually were talking about it in Congress yesterday in front of Pam Bondi, because the reporters are saying, "Well, do you think everyone knew?" And his response, Howard Lutnick, he works in Trump's administration. He says everyone knew, but Epstein had the ability to blackmail people too. So there's that angle, and then we're watching him not release the files.
Okay,
There's
if there
Katie
was so
Johnson.
much in the files, why didn't the Democrats let the files go?
Jeff, what I'm trying to get you to at least make an understanding about was earlier, and we're just going to admit Epstein and Trump were good friends, right?
I don't know that.
No, at a certain point, they were good friends.
Okay.
And Epstein is the worst person you should ever have as a friend. So that's evident.
I'd agree with that.
Okay, thank you. You want me to play something for you? Hold on.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
You heard that?
Say that. Let me hear it again.
If Ivanka weren't my
Hold on.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
What did he say?
Ivanka's not his daughter.
No, she is his daughter.
I don't even know if that he really said that.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
I mean, who knows if that's him or not with all the AI stuff out. Now, if he said that, that's a little inappropriate, I'd say.
Okay, well, this is before AI, so he said that, Jeff.
Well, that's pretty inappropriate.
Okay,
I don't know the whole
let's use
context
the
of it,
correct word, Jeff. Let's use the correct word. It's immoral. I like that word that you used, and then we're going to use it. So it's immoral, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and listen to this.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that. I can't.
You heard that?
I mean, that's kind of ridiculous.
So what we've gotten done this morning, and we've done it in record time, and I appreciate you being open and honest, is you have enough evidence to at least acknowledge Donald Trump is clearly immoral, and he is also a criminal, correct? You've already agreed to those things. You already acknowledged.
I don't really think he's a criminal per se.
No, Jeff. Jeff, it's not about. It's like the scoreboard. You watch sports?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, the score is the score, right? You can't be upset. You could be upset with it, but even in being upset, you can't make your team all of a sudden be the winning team. It is what it is, right?
I understand.
You understand that. Okay, so understanding that, let's apply that to the criminal stuff. Criminally speaking, he has stats
Faded
on the
out.
book. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right. Criminally speaking, he has put points on the scoreboard. 34 felonies. When you look up at the scoreboard, Donald Trump has 34 felonies. You and I can't change that. If it was up to me, he'd have 100,000. So you know what I mean? So we both aren't getting what we want. Right?
Well,
We both
I
aren't
mean,
getting
you
what
look
we
at it
want.
your way, I look at it my
Right,
way. I
but
mean,
I
there's
want
a
him to
lot of
have
stuff.
100,000 felonies because I think there's a lot of lies he's done. There's a lot of harm he's done. He's innocent people have lost their life as a result of some of his policies and his behavior. I wish there was, and actually, I think there should be war crimes on there, but I can't get that. So I got to live with the reality we've been given. And the reality that I've been given is he has 34 felonies, Jeff. And I think if you were an honest American, honest patriot, or well-to-do person and had integrity, you would have to admit that he has 34 felonies too, based on the data we have. Jeff? Jeff, I figured. Jeff, are you there? I knew it. I got it. I must have got your blood pressure worked up, bro. Are you there, Jeff? All right, Jeff. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff is clearly done. Stephen Miller, right? You know he glitched out, Jeff. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Jeff. And I didn't want to be so harsh on him, but I got to say, at least I got him to acknowledge that Donald Trump is immoral, and he struggled to come to grips with the fact that Donald Trump is a criminal, even though he acknowledged it, he is a criminal. And so what we all saw was at the beginning of that, proud Trump supporter in my comment section, and at the end of that conversation, crickets, radio silent. He's not so proud anymore. And I've warned you all when I run my show. This is what I do to MAGA. I'm going to ruin your appetite. You're not going to be hungry after you get done talking to me because I'm going to ruin your morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and do this together. We got to warm it up the lake of fire. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Jeff. You might not understand this, but your soul is truly on the line. And maybe God used me to give you a second chance, Jeff, to wake up and get out of this dark and dangerous cult that you found yourselves in. And so with that, Jeff, I'm going to do it. I got to send you straight to hell. Jeff, I got to purge the MAGA demon out of you, and hopefully it makes you a better person. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. Let's send him straight to hell. All right, Jeff.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
There's Jeff in the comments section, and he's laughing because Jeff knows he knew he was in the wrong side. He knew he was in the wrong. All right, we don't need to play games, Jeff. Why waste American people's time? All right, seriously, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a dating app. No, you're wrong, Jeff. And we all heard it. Good morning, Val.
This is not a dating app. What the hell?
All right, welcome, Val. How are you doing, bro?
I mean, other than listening to somebody that walked themselves right out of the morale. If y'all want to have a moral argument about Donald J. Trump, you've lost before you even began the argument. I don't even know where to go with that. That is
right,
ridiculous.
right.
That is ridiculous.
But you see what I did? I gave him the lane. It's wide open, Jeff. Go. What is it? I don't like criminals. I don't like immoral people. Oh, okay. Go right down there, and we'll take care of you once you get there. And all of a sudden, he realized he talked himself into a pretty bad situation, right?
Oh yeah, he talked himself right into a circle. You know what I'm saying? He was tying a knot in his legs. He didn't even know it yet.
Yeah. Thank you. Because this is what this is about, Jeff. And I hope you're listening. But what else you got for us?
Well, some fun ones today. We talked about the government shutdown a little bit. And of course, we have, Pam Bondi and that fiasco that was yesterday. The person, if you don't know what Darvo is, look it up. I wanted to talk about the government shutdown a little bit. And what this really equates to, for the American people and, and what the Republicans are claiming and what they're doing and how they're doing it. I want people to realize something. When we talk about food assistance and we talk about, and we talk about welfare and those types of things, I want everybody to realize that the average taxpayer pays about $35 a year in food assistance out of their tax money. That's about what $35 of their tax money a year goes towards less than 10 cents a day. Okay, goes to help food assistance in the hungry in our country.
Wow.
And then, about $37 for welfare. Zeus, can you guess about how much of our tax dollars go to corporate subsidies?
Shoot. Let's say, I don't know. I would say around 30-40%. I could be wrong though.
About $700 per average taxpayer.
Wow.
Okay, goes to
Why?
corporate subsidies
What? Whoa, $700. Wow. Wow. Wow.
from the average taxpayer.
Wow.
And so, thank y'all very much for not realizing
DJ says
what the real problem
$700 per year.
per year.
And it's nice when DJ actually asks questions because he's actually trying to learn at a certain point. But we're gonna keep trying to educate these lost sheep out here. What a disgrace.
It's based on the average taxpayer. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say, if you're in a higher income, you're going to pay a little bit more. If you're in a lower income, you're probably going to pay a little bit less. But you know what I'm saying? On average, that's what it is. So $35 for food assistance, $37 for welfare, $700 for corporations.
Wow. Wow.
And
Wow.
you want to come up here and say your problem is people that aren't working that maybe can't work. That's what your problem is. Your problem is the rich people. Wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that you sit up here and the fact that people come up here and try to do that all the time is craziness.
What do you think about? And I was meaning to ask you, but we ran out of time. We yesterday we had a very interesting discussion about this government shutdown and the cost of healthcare. And you heard Tiny Tank Top Tim. He actually said he doesn't believe in having health insurance. What do you think of that?
That was the wildest conversation
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, because I'm sitting here and I'm doing the math in my head.
Okay.
Okay. Insurance. I mean, I don't know about you or anybody else that works, but my insurance averages about $150 out of my pocket per month, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. And my corporate, my company pays the other half. And, or whatever the percentage may
That's
be.
how it works, right?
Yeah, that's how it works. So, and I work for a pretty good company. So the things that he was saying yesterday when he was talking about his bill, and you asked him about his dental insurance, and you spent $300 for both him and his wife, $600 right there.
Yeah.
Plus his medicine, which he said is about $100, which I believe is probably a little bit incorrect. I don't think he's figuring or giving us the exact figure on that. But anyway, you take that into effect. He's paying about, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's all he did, not including the doctor's visits, which I know is not true.
Yeah.
He's putting in about, a little over $1,000 a year into his pay. And then you take any health emergency that happens over and beyond that, he's done.
Yeah.
And then you take his house. He said he pays about 30% for his house. Well,
he said it's paid off. Remember, he's balling out of control.
Yeah, he said that, but then he followed that up that he pays about 30% for his house. Okay,
Oh.
so about 30% of his paycheck goes to his house. Well, that was about another $800-900. I don't know anybody with a house that costs $800-900. I'd love to. I mean, I'd like to live in the 80s again, I guess. But
Right?
But these things, taxes for my house
Yeah.
are more than that. I pay about $14,000 a year in just my property tax.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where, what I'm saying? I don't know where this comes from. I also pay about another, what I'm saying? I also pay about another, I think it's almost $6,000 a year right now. There's more than that, $6-7 a year just in my insurance. For
Yeah.
my house.
Yeah. We all have real issues out here. And it's
Right.
it's alarming to me.
These are things I believe are real issues, right? Or real
Yeah.
problems, that are taking money from American people, not to mention that groceries are going up and stuff like that.
Bingo.
We have an instrument and also an interesting phenomenon right now that we've never seen in the past of a lot of things. Anybody paid attention to the state fair stories?
Well, no. What happened with the state fairs?
Okay, so the state fairs opened up in most states last week. Okay,
Wow.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And since last week, the state fairs have been barren.
Wow.
Nobody going. And there's several reasons for that. One, their prices have went up. I mean, they're selling turkey legs for $24 a piece. They're selling
And I love the turkey leg. Those are
right.
good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they're good, but $24? They're not that good.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, $12 for a lemonade. These are things you take a kid. You know what I'm saying? You take your kids, you go for a ride. It's too much.
Right.
People don't have what's really happening here is people don't have the disposable income. And when you're seeing this kind of disparity in disposable income, these state fairs are suffering right now. And that's where, you know what I'm saying? And we're seeing that. And that's a story that broke yesterday, actually, about, you know what I'm saying, some of
Yeah.
the state fairs. And it's pretty much across the nation. They're seeing this at all the state fairs that opened up last week.
Wow.
This
Yeah,
is
I've
what,
seen it. I've seen it. You know what? I started thinking about it. Yeah, I know of some fairs in my area, and I've noticed the decline because normally the parking lots they'd be full.
yeah, like
Lines trying. Yeah, no more, no
the
more of
state
that.
fair. Yeah, the state fair in Dallas, you usually can't drive down I-30. You know what I'm saying? Because I-30's backed up all the way onto the highway. People trying to get into the fair,
Wow.
you know, and that's, you know what I'm saying?
And
I don't know what's going on down there, but these are the things that are going on in this country. I don't know why people refuse to see what's really happening. At the grocery store when you're paying anywhere from 10 cents to 2 cents or up to $1 or $2 more for an item.
mm-hmm.
You think about just that one item. You don't
Right.
think about what that adds up to if you put 20, 30 items in your cart.
That part.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you take that and you times the American people and you see what's actually happening.
And
Tariffs
that
are
goes
hurting
right
us.
in line with the you heard about what's happening with the tourism industry, right?
Right. Tourism has dropped. We've been put on several countries' watch list.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As don't go.
Yep.
And that's because of what's happening to people that are just coming here to vacation, and they're having run-ins with border patrol and border security and stuff like that, where they can't even come into the country to do their vacation.
Mm.
These people aren't bad people. They're coming here to actually spend money in the United States and go home.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the things that are being done when you put these, like mass tariffs. We know aren't good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we've seen what that's done, and that kind of covered that in the grocery prices we talked about a minute ago. Well, the same thing happens when you try to do mass deportation and you go after anybody that just looks like somebody they don't belong here.
Right. Ain't that
Okay,
something?
you start to hurt the country.
Amen.
Okay, and these things are going to continue, and we're going to continue to have a downfall in our economy until this man is put in check.
There you go, W Val. Well, listen, brother. I totally appreciate you. All right, we're gonna try to move it along.
Not a
And
problem, buddy.
I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Give Val a huge, huge round of applause. No lies detected.
Bye, everyone.
Later. All right. Later. Oh, who do we got next? All right. Good morning, Ange, the beautiful Ange. Welcome. We're cooking and booking. How are you doing?
Hi. Well, good morning, Zeus. Good morning,
Good morning.
Kingdom.
Good
I've
morning.
kind of I don't know if you covered this because I've kind of been in and out. Um, I was wondering, where is the plan for the childcare costs? Have
I
they
haven't talked about it.
have they addressed that? Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, has this been addressed? Because I'm still waiting on their concept of a plan for childcare costs. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you in here, it's exorbitant amount.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm
Don't you believe in protecting kids?
yeah. I don't think they do. They're lying. But I'm fortunate enough to be able to be home with the one income. But the childcare, see, J.D. Vance's plan was for the grandparents to take care of the grandchildren.
Yeah.
It's okay. So here's the thing. I am fortunate enough to do that, but not everybody else is. So I'm bringing, I have my own teenagers and I have grandchildren. That's what I'm doing back and forth, back and
Yeah.
forth. And they're still not talking about the childcare costs. And I don't
Wow.
know if anybody remembers, but during the debates, Kamala had a plan for that.
She did.
She did, not a concept of a plan, but she had an actual plan. Donald Trump did not. When
He said he
was,
had concepts.
well, no, Zeus, he didn't even say that. He went
Wow.
straight.
Even worse.
He went straight to immigration.
Wow.
He didn't talk about child care costs. He only talked
What a
about
disgrace.
immigration. And that's all they ever talk about. They don't have anything anymore. That is it. That's all they talk about is
Immigration and the Democrats. Pretty much.
Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, with this health insurance, with what's going on, they are going to lose on that one. That is one thing the Democrats have always had above them, because if you remember correctly, that's another thing. Donald Trump, for a decade now, in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, and I'm still waiting. And these people, it's going to slap them right in the face. It's going to hit them.
Yeah. It's already hitting them.
It's
They're already
already-
crying.
It's going to hit all of us, because ours will probably double.
Yeah.
And it's already pretty high. And then there are the ones that are, the ones that have been like, well, I don't need it. I'm not going to get sick. Yes, you are. You are. Or someone that you love is going to get sick.
And
what
that's
are
the
you
lesson.
going to do?
That's the lesson, because Tiny Tank Tim Tom, he got up here bragging, oh, I don't need health insurance at all. I just go and make a deal. Good morning, Dr. Keisha. I just go and make a deal with my doctor and get on a payment plan, and I'm good to go. How selfish.
I'm not sure if that's going to work for him. Doesn't he claim he has a lot of money? They don't have plans like that for people like Tiny Tank Tim Tom, whatever the heck his name is. They don't do that for people. Like, they only do that for people that are, it's like a sliding fee scale.
Yeah.
They don't do that for Tiny Tank Tim.
Oh.
I missed him. Was he in today? I hope.
Yeah,
But
he was here yesterday. We did a bit of an intervention. I don't know if it helped him, but he's one of these folks out here that doesn't think that they should be forced to get insured. All right, and he's having a very difficult time understanding that if he's not insured, then we end up having to foot the cost.
exactly.
Those of us who are insured, because that's just how the game goes, and it's a selfish thing. And this is, to me, the downfall of MAGA. It's their selfishness that has us in this situation right now. And that's what Donald Trump is using to destroy them.
And that's the common theme, because when I'm also talking to people that come into my lives,
Yeah.
and we were discussing these children that are being put in zip ties and just taken away,
Zipped.
this is what they say. They're
Yeah.
like, well, they should have been, their parents shouldn't have been here anyway. That's
Oh.
what they said
Oh.
about children. And I could not help
I can-
myself. And I said to them, I said, you know what? What if that happens to you? What if that happens? What if that is your child? They dehumanize the black and brown people. They completely dehumanize them.
Yeah. I agree.
Always have, and now it's worse.
Yeah. This is their this is Trump's America. This is the vision. This is their wet dream, so to speak, of just being able to dehumanize black and brown people at will. No regards to humanity, no regards to life. Oh, but we're Christians.
Exactly. They only, they care about the children, and, but not if they're black or brown.
Oh,
They don't care.
We're gonna
They,
expose them.
like I said, they don't even look at them like they're human beings.
that's
And
sick.
they're sick. Don't tell me that you care about the children. Don't talk to me. I mean, like, we could go back even down the road about, the AB and
Yeah.
all the pro-lifers and what. Get in line then for adopting a child or for fostering,
Thank
because
you.
there's about 450,000 kids, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
in the foster care system. And I mean, even that, though, we shouldn't have little girls running around pregnant when their little bodies probably couldn't even withstand that.
Correct.
But get in line. And I want to see you adopting children and fostering them. I could go on and on about, you sit there and you talk about, you care about the children. You want to cut the once they're here, you don't want to feed them, okay?
Correct.
Once they're here, they're going to schools and they're getting pew-pewed because we don't want to address having sensible pew-pew laws, right? We don't want to do that. They always want to
Bingo.
say it's mental health, and then they slash that too for
Yep.
kids in high school.
That part.
And then another thing too, you people, when all of this hits, your kids that may be on an IEP and whatnot, you can probably say goodbye to that. You can say goodbye to the paraprofessionals or whatever they're called in each state. That's who's going to go first.
Yep.
That's what's going to go first. So I'm tired of the you care about the children. I don't want
Thank
to hear
you. Tell them, Ange. Tell them, Ange. W. Ange. You know they hate it when you call them out like that, but
Yep.
we have to continue to remind these people we see them for who they are, not for the words they say. Because none of us buy that. The mask doesn't work with us, MAGA. It doesn't.
It does not. And with that, I will let you go. And
right.
thanks for having me up.
You're welcome. Anytime. Anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, W. Ange. Note. Lies. Detected. All righty then. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We are cooking and booking. All right, let's move it along. Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. You wouldn't believe what the cat drug in. Scott Jennings himself. Hey, DJ.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, I told folks that, that video, the picture of the child that was zip tied, that was circulating virally, and then you shared the video with me, and it was actually more to it. I apologized for that. You know that?
That's cool, man. That's
Right,
cool.
and so that proves that, and that goes to in line. And I was saying it to you, but I wanted to make sure I could say it to you. That actually shows you that I'm really Triple H, right? The middle H being humble. Because if I'm wrong, I have no problem in admitting that I'm wrong, right?
To a degree, yeah.
No. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, I mean, I would,
And I appreciate being your big brother on that, because I hope you're paying attention to how I carry myself and you're taking away some of the good qualities that I have. I mean, the handsomeness you won't get, but I hope you're actually actively paying attention to what it takes to be a good person.
It's a great thing that you did, Zeus. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but now that swings it back into your direction, and I don't know if this is what you wanted to talk about, but maybe we can at least get this out of the way, and then I'll hear what you have to say. Are you willing to now start being honest with all of us? Because a lot of people, they hate your guts, bro. They hate you. They hate it because you get up here and you hem and haw and you dance with the truth. And
Sometimes the truth hurts, man. And like the saying goes, the truth don't care about your feelings, man.
I agree, but that doesn't mean I don't need a clever line. I just need to know, are you willing to acknowledge certain truths now? Because I just showed you, and I'm your big brother, right? I just showed you how to do it and still be able to be yourself, your authentic self. This is the problem in America, DJ.
Tell me can you be more specific? I mean, you've heard me disagree with Trump on things many times. Have you not? Have you not heard me disagree
One of the
with
biggest issues that I have, but I don't think the word disagree is going to fly that well with me. We're really at a point right now, DJ, where we need boots on the ground. We need action. All right? And we're asking you to stop supporting him today. Because the behavior he's putting out there, it's beyond just a simple disagreement. This is dangerous stuff he's doing. You know what I mean?
Can you be more specific?
The National Guard.
So you have a problem with the National Guard being deployed to protect federal troops and federal buildings?
No. I have a problem with
you don't have a problem
I
with that.
just said no.
Okay,
I have a problem with the National Guard terrorizing American citizens, though.
Can you? Okay. So
you see, I
throw
did that. You
out
see
there.
how I flipped it on you? Because see, the narrative you're selling,
Yeah,
I'm not
you-
buying it. If that's all they were
Flipped it
doing,
from a reasonable answer to hyperbole. The National Guard. Tell me how the National Guard is terrorizing citizens.
all right. So Operation Lone Star, and I covered this yesterday. You know what they did? Remember that?
No, I
Okay.
do not. No.
Okay, so when Biden was in office, Texas, in my opinion, engaged in what I call trafficking of human beings to a degree, because they lured undocumented immigrants in this country with opportunities for jobs, right? Better housing and quality of life. Hey, listen to me. You asked me, and I'm giving it to you.
So who lured?
Oh,
Who lured them?
Texas, Operation Lonestar. That's a Texas program. Greg Abbott's behind it. And believe it or not, they were busing and flying undocumented people to sanctuary cities. You remember this while Biden was in office?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Chicago was one of those cities.
Okay, so how did Texas lure those people into the United States?
They promised them jobs and housing as they made them get on the planes and the buses.
Texas, not Joe Biden, not the Biden administration.
Correct.
They discouraged the people from coming. They told them not to come, right? And they set up policies and border policies that kept those people out. But instead, what you're saying is the governor of Texas flew them all in. Is that what you're saying? He flew them in from Mexico?
I'll give you this. Biden was not as strong on the border as he could have been. Okay. And I acknowledge that, and I think partially it's because the way Biden is.
And why did the governor of Texas send those people to Chicago, Zeus?
And misappropriate the C-19 funding in the process of doing
Why
that.
Did he send them to other places?
He sent them to the sanctuary cities to try to get President Biden to do what they wanted him to do at the border. Valerie, right? And so fast forwarding to today, Governor Greg Abbott and Donald Trump, they're colluding together to now send the National Guard to Chicago, right? And the problem that they're saying they're trying to address is a problem. If you go back to Operation Lone Star, it's a problem that they created.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I understand. You're saying that the governor of Texas created the immigration problem. Is that what you're saying?
He exacerbated it, correct? Because there was already because of C-19 and other environmental things that are going on, and there obviously was a swelling of people at the border. That's not something I'm not going to say. But Greg Abbott, they used that as an opportunity to gaslight you and a bunch of people in the cult into subscribing to some of the most hateful conditions and hateful treatment of human beings. These people are nothing but political pawns being used by Donald Trump, all right, in order to get you to get so emotional that you go out there and you vote for them without acknowledging that they're playing you like a fiddle. They literally are an example of, they call it the hero syndrome. They create the fire and then they rush and put it out and say, look at me, give me all the rewards. Why should we reward you for a problem you created?
Zeus, do you remember when Chicago, I don't know if it was the mayor or the governor.
That just not even.
I'm just trying to continue the conversation, Zeus. Please let me finish.
Okay.
But do you remember when they said that their systems were being exhausted? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Their resources are being strained.
And they established themselves as a sanctuary city, and they said, hey, we want these people. Bring them here. Bring them here. Greg Abbott accommodated them and sent the people to them. Do you remember when New York City, when they had the thing about the hotels that were being basically annexed by the government to house these people? And people were complaining. We have homeless people out here that can't find a place to spend the night, but the government is paying for these people to be in nice hotels.
Okay.
Do you remember all that, Zeus?
I remember some of that, and there's a lot more nuance in that, and a lot of it is untrue, especially there's a difference between refugees and undocumented people, and the refugees qualify for is completely different than what undocumented people qualify for, and that's the narrative that Fox News was pushing to get folks like you worked up. But what I want to do, DJ, what I want to do is this. Even if these sanctuary cities presented a more welcoming and humane approach to addressing this,
yes, and
it still does not. It still does not negate or excuse what Governor Greg Abbott did, which is subjecting these immigrants to basically inhumane conditions and tricking them to get on airplanes and buses and then sending them to these places. Hold on, and putting the little razor wire in the water and stuff. You don't remember any of this?
I absolutely remember that. He did everything he could to discourage them from coming over.
So let's not get into because the Democrats and all that stuff. Because I already acknowledged Biden wasn't as strong as I would have liked.
The state of Texas Zeus did not have the resources to handle those people. He had to send them somewhere. That was the humanitarian thing to do.
Okay.
If you've got a million people in a place that will only support 100,000, what do you got to do, Zeus?
So let me make sure I understand. Governor Greg Abbott had no choice but to basically traffic human beings to sanctuary cities. Give me a break,
and
DJ.
You know what?
DJ.
I could put it a different way. I could say that he saved those people and sent them to other places where they could be where they have more resources to handle them. Because you have to admit that the state of Texas and
DJ.
all those border states could not handle what was coming over the border, Zeus.
DJ,
Come on, man, be
while,
real.
while I can acknowledge that the state of Texas may have, structural limitations about, the number of people that it can support with their resources,
Our whole country has structural
I
limitations.
have to also acknowledge that for some strange reason, Governor Greg Abbott was able to siphon out C-19 funding that the Biden administration allocated, and instead of addressing the structural limitations, somehow used that money to traffic human beings and send them to sanctuary cities. So it's still, in my opinion, it doesn't absolve Governor Greg Abbott of what I consider, honestly, just inhumane. And if it was up to me, I would call it war crimes. He could have used the money he was siphoning from Biden.
The
Hold
word
on.
war
He could have,
crimes, really, Zeus?
because he could have used the money that he was using to build the razor wire. And he could have just improved and enhanced the systems in Texas to make sure that some of the people that needed the benefits could have benefited from it. Why
The
are
amount
we?
of
Why?
people
Why?
that were in that state could not survive in that state, Zeus. They had to go other places, and there were cities that were
okay, well
welcoming
then,
those
DJ,
people.
DJ, if you want to
Well, here
ask
you
me,
go. If you're
DJ,
welcoming me, here you go.
DJ, why not do this then? All right, you're in the country illegally. Why not I just fly you to the other side of the border? Why not do that?
Are you kidding me? Are you really seriously asking me that question right now? So what you're saying is that Greg Abbott should have shipped them all back to where they came from. Is that what you're saying? Isn't that what we're trying to do right now, Zeus?
No, DJ. I'm trying to not say anything. I'm trying to get you to at least.
Obvious.
I'm trying to get you to see the hypocrisy, and this is why I started this off by showing you. I can admit that I'm wrong.
Okay.
What I'm realizing with you is you're not learning from me and leading and following my example. If this
Why?
is simply
Because
about
if with you, am I not learning from you?
okay, your claim is the resources in Texas weren't enough. So Governor Greg Abbott had no choice but to send these undocumented folks to sanctuary cities that were welcoming them. And I'm saying, okay, if that's an option, then another option could have been, hey, we don't have the resources here. We could take that same money that we're using to do that and just fly them back to the countries they came from. And it probably would have been a lot cheaper, and we wouldn't have been in the scenario we're in now, where guess what? Governor Greg Abbott found some more money, and now he's feeling like he can send the National Guard to go get the people he sent to Texas from the very beginning. Do you not understand that, bro?
Or
No,
here's another idea.
there's no or.
Yes, there is an or. There's always an or, Zeus. There's always an or.
Yeah.
Or maybe we could have took some of the same funds that Biden used to house and feed and clothe those people and shut down the border so we didn't have that problem to begin with, Zeus. How about that?
Yeah. Okay, but that puts the burden on President Biden, and we've already acknowledged that President Biden may not have been as strong as we would have liked him to be for whatever the reasons are. But
So maybe
it still
that's
doesn't.
the whole
It still
source
doesn't.
of this problem. Maybe
no,
that's the whole source of this problem. Is that what you're saying?
No. The point I'm trying to make is
Sounds like you said it.
DJ, we are all individually responsible for our own actions, correct?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay, so what I'm really trying to focus on are Governor Greg Abbott's actions, not Joe Biden's. Is that possible?
Well,
Because-
it's extremely
because
possible
Biden could have-
because
listen.
Abbott is you disagree with Abbott. That's why you want to blame it on him.
Biden could jump off of a bridge. Governor Greg Abbott doesn't have to do it. You get what I'm saying? So there's always that ability to be
That's a
in
horrible analogy, but anyway, go ahead.
You get it. And so the reason why I'm really just kind of trying to test you and test your character is I just wanted to see if you honestly could be honest with all of us for once in your life. Because I get it. You gotta
say what, Zeus?
that Donald Trump is obviously gaslighting you into believe stuff that really isn't true. And that was a good example. You could go look up Operation Lonestar. Why would you send people to a city and then turn around and send the National Guard to go get those people? At a bare minimum, that shows you we're wasting a lot of money. Whether or not there's crimes involved, which I honestly think there are, because if you go look deeper, those folks were tricked into getting into these buses and the airplanes because they thought they were going to live a better quality life. They were tricked, and then they were sent. And some of them involved women and children. That's why I think it's a very terrible situation. And then now, those same folks that were tricked, now they're being terrorized by the National Guard. And in the process of all of this, you got Americans, innocent Americans being caught up in the middle of it. You can't keep saying Joe Biden. Joe Biden did this. No, Joe Biden doesn't have the National Guard in Chicago. That's Donald Trump.
Zeus, why was the National Guard sent to Chicago? Why?
Because Trump sent them.
Why?
I have no clue.
You don't have any idea why Donald Trump sent the National Guard or attempted to use the Illinois National Guard, and the court stopped that. Is that correct?
That's correct, because the reasons he's citing aren't true. That's why I say that.
Okay,
Because he likes to say Chicago is actually the worst city when it comes to crime. No, it's not. So I don't know why he sent it.
We're not talking about crime now. We're talking about
So
the federal officers being able to do their job and being able to do it safely. The governor of Illinois and the Chicago Police Department gave them absolutely no support. And you know what? Governor Abbott said, you know what? To heck with that. We're not going to put up with that. We will send troops ourselves to Illinois to help our federal officers.
But I thought their system was overextended. They don't have the resources. So where are they getting the money to do this?
What are you talking about?
Governor, you said the system is already overwhelmed in Texas. So where are they getting the additional resources to pull this off?
I have no idea.
And that's the problem.
No, you're pivoting. You're twisting. You're trying to twist the point. You're trying to turn it away from what is a valid point to where now you say, well, where are they getting the resources to send these troops? Are you saying that they shouldn't have sent the troops? Is that what you're saying, Zeus?
Correct. Because states and Governor Gavin Newsom actually said it, and he said it's a sad thing. States shouldn't be invading other states, DJ.
Okay. You are conflating.
No, do you agree or not?
Different items.
Do you believe states should be invading other states, DJ?
I believe that the protection of federal agents should be supported by all police agencies, okay?
Yeah, but you can't answer my question.
It's crystal clear that he's not going to help those people at all.
You can't answer my question, DJ.
We're told to stand down, Zeus.
DJ. And that's just this, and maybe I'm making you too angry with this because it's a harsh reality. Okay, so my question was: should states invade other states?
Should states invade other states? If the state of Virginia needs help to take care of our federal officers and they need it from another
DJ, it was
state
a yes or no.
Because the governor of Virginia is
DJ.
too much of a coward.
DJ, it was
absolutely.
DJ, it was a yes or no. Do you personally believe states should invade other states?
Texas is not invading Illinois.
Okay,
Texas is sending National Guard
to
help federal troops.
So DJ, that's a no. DJ, I'll say it for you. Just say no. Say no, Zeus. I don't think states should invade other states.
Should North Carolina invade the state of Virginia? No. Absolutely not.
No state should invade any.
But
no,
if the state of Virginia will not take care of their own,
DJ,
what? Yo,
I'm gonna just stop right there, and I'm just gonna call you out.
You know that you've got no argument, Zeus. You know that you've got no argument.
No, it's not that. It's just that you're not following my example of taking accountability, and it's kind of exhausting. And
I'm not agreeing with you, Zeus, and that's what.
But
you're saying maybe it's a learning moment for you as well.
I'm always willing to learn.
Once when you were wrong, and I gave you facts that you couldn't dispute.
DJ, I'm always willing to learn. And if I get new information, I know how to take that. And as hard as it is, say, you know what, I got it wrong. And like I did, I came out here and I said the picture of the child that I thought was zip tied, I found out through you. Oh, there's more to this story. Maybe I shouldn't allow myself to be gaslit. And as much as I wanted to, because I have a lot of pride, I could have just ignored that and then swept it under the rug. But I came out here and because I want people to honestly make the best decision for themselves, and that means you got to use the information you have. So in that, I'm struggling with this discussion with you because sometimes it's just a yes or a no question. I don't need any explanation. All right. And you can't do it. And the Bible teaches, when there's a lot of words, and there's a lot of lies in there. I don't know the scripture, but it's in there. When we start hearing a lot of words, I just start going, oh, lies, there's lies, because it shouldn't be this difficult to say things like, hey, states shouldn't be invading other states. Hey,
and you know what, dude? Hey, I agree with you 100%. Sometimes it is a yes or no question. Do you like vanilla ice cream?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Okay. But that is a yes or no question. Do you think that some states should be invading other states?
No.
The obvious answer is no.
Okay.
But the nuance of what you're putting. No. Yes, there is nuance on it, Zeus.
No,
and you know that.
No, DJ, we're done after that. I'm done. I'm ready to move on. because
Okay,
you've
man.
already established that you have some sort of moral clarity on things. But when you pivot and dance around the subject like that, you're only contributing towards the chaos that's going on in America right now, because there's other folks listening to this conversation. They don't got time for the nuance. They're asking clear questions. A, should states invade other states? No. Okay, then why is Greg Abbott sending National Guard troops to a state where Pritzker is saying, I don't want them? And that's the
Okay, so
issue.
does that
That's
is that
that's
where the
the
nuance
issue.
comes in? Is that where the nuance comes in?
That's just an
If
example.
you asked me that question, and I said no, they
But
should not,
and then
and
here's
you
the
asked
well,
me again, why
I've
is he
already
sending the troops?
annihilated you on this issue, and now because when we get to the him and the Han and stuff, it's like, okay, Zeus, he's not
I'm
going to
not
budge.
him or
The
Han,
next
dude.
thing that I
I'm
wanted
pretty
to check
clear
in
on
with
where
you,
I
hold
stand.
on. The next thing that I wanted to check in with you real quick, it has to do with Epstein. What was your assessment of Pam Bondi yesterday?
I think that Pam Bondi was very defensive. I think that I think she was way too defensive.
Okay.
I think that as one of the leaders of our country, she should come prepared to answer questions. Okay, and you're going to love the next part of this, but she basically did what every other person behind her and in front of her did. When they get in front of Congress and it's time to answer questions, they want to tap dance. Okay, answer the questions. All right, just
Okay.
like what you put to me, Zeus. Just like what you put to me.
And where you
And there are
said,
times when there's nuance involved. I think that she handled herself well in certain situations, and there were parts when I was disappointed.
what were
So
the parts
that's
you were
what
disappointed?
basically when instead of doing what she's supposed to do, which is represent as Attorney General of the United States of America, she should have point blank answers. But
Correct.
getting back and forth of don't call me a liar, and that was a pretty funny video that you put out yesterday.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
There's times when, as leaders in our country, and it doesn't matter if it's Democrats or Republicans, you need to act like a leader, okay? And I was disappointed in the way that she did.
So my concern is this. There's two areas. The thing about Tom Homan taking the $50,000 cash.
I thought that the question that the congressman asked her, is there a video of him taking the money? That should have been a yes or no question.
But we know there's a video, DJ.
Again, I haven't seen it. I'm not disputing it. I'm not arguing with you.
And let's just go
But
down that
as
path.
the
Let's
Attorney
just say,
General,
how do you feel about him taking that cash?
if that's what happened, Tom Homan should be gone.
Well, Trump won't. So then, what does that say about Trump and his involvement, right? Because he knows.
I don't know what Trump knows, Zeus, but I'll say.
Okay.
Let me finish. Let me
Okay,
finish.
I figured you'd do
When
that.
when when
But
the,
he can,
when
but
the,
he can get Comey indicted.
when the
He
when
can
the
get Comey
Congressman
indicted through the
and-
DOJ. They can sit down at a table. Let's go ahead and indict Comey. Tom Homan took $50,000. I don't know what Trump knows. Come on, DJ.
Zeus, this is all a political
DJ,
show.
but DJ,
It's all a political show.
but DJ.
I don't think that they should have went after Comey, Zeus. I think it's ridiculous. We got bigger issues in our country than looking back on that. Because you know what's going to happen, Zeus? What's going to happen to Comey? What's going to happen to him?
He's gonna walk.
Nothing's going to happen to him.
Yes, I mean he's gonna walk.
How many millions of dollars are we going to waste on this BS? I mean, again, what's
Oh, you're
It's
starting to
gone.
sound mighty. You're starting to sound like a Democrat, DJ. Get out of here.
political one-upsmanship has been going on since before you and I were born. Okay, it's all a distraction. We got bigger fish to fry than what's going on with James Comey.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, DJ. That's okay. And now let's stick to that. So if Tom Homan took the $50,000, Pam Bondi should go after him, correct?
absolutely.
Okay, thank you. And if she doesn't go after him knowing he took the $50,000, then this means Pam Bondi got to go. And Tom Homan has to go,
Okay,
right?
if Pam Bondi knew
She
and had
knows.
video evidence
She
and
has
they
it.
swept it under the rug, she needs to go.
Okay,
I agree
all
with
right.
you.
Okay, thank you. Now, I want to swing it over to the Epstein thing real quick, and I know the time has been really, because I don't get to interact with you through this medium like this, but I'm going to ask you, after listening to all of the stuff Pam Bondi put up with, I don't know how much you'd heard, but Epstein definitely was brought up. Do you believe what Pam Bondi is saying about Jeffrey Epstein?
I didn't hear it, Zeus. I got to tell you, I didn't hear it. I'm not trying to dispute it. I'm not trying to disagree with it. I'm not trying to agree with her. I did not hear it.
You didn't hear any clips? Nothing? I
No.
played it at the top of my show today where she was interacting. You want me to play you a sample?
If you want to, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm sure your audience has already seen it and heard it.
No, don't worry about them. Hold on, no. Let me see if I can get you something. Let's listen.
Let me ask you something else. There's been public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. Do you know if the FBI found those photographs in their search of Jeffrey Epstein's safe or premises or otherwise? Have you seen any such thing?
You know, Senator Whitehouse, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right, when you're the one who was taking money from one of Epstein's closest confidants, I believe, I could be wrong, correct me, Reid Hoffman, who was with Jeffrey Epstein on multiple occasions. And the senator sitting right next to you tried to block the flight logs from being released. Yet you're grilling me on President Trump and some photograph with Epstein? Come on.
The question is, did the FBI find those photographs that have been discussed publicly by a witness who claimed Jeffrey Epstein showed them to him? You don't know any? Okay.
You hear her go quiet, DJ?
Did she answer when he asked the question the second time?
No, she froze. She went quiet.
Seems like a yes or no question to me.
But I just got done arguing with you about yes or no questions. So relate to Pam Bondi if you don't mind. I'm pretty sure she was thinking to herself, "There's a lot more nuance to this photo." But you know the obvious answer. The answer is obvious, but when you're paralyzed because she doesn't want to say what is in there, you kind of have no other choice but to conclude that Donald Trump is in those e-files, bro.
No, you don't, Zeus. You don't have the evidence.
DJ.
Here's what you can conclude.
DJ. I'm gonna be straight up with you, bro. I'm gonna be straight up with you, and I'm your big brother. All right, you gotta quit defending this guy. You gotta quit this guy right here. This guy right here, Donald Trump, bro. He's in those files.
Okay.
And DJ,
okay, go ahead.
when the attorney general she freezes like that and just can't flat out say, heck no, he ain't in those files.
So there's nothing else behind the end of that clip? I mean, that's just the end of it?
Well, the whole thing is 4 hours, DJ, but we're not going to do that.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I meant
Okay.
to his question to her.
Right. There's more to it, but I don't have it on this clip.
Okay.
All right. But DJ, that was at least a 5-second, I can't say it moment. And she's the attorney general. Ma'am, you can't say, heck no, Donald Trump isn't in those files. What are you thinking? She can't say that, DJ. Think about that, DJ. She can't.
When he asked her the question
DJ,
initially-
you know why she can't say it? Because she doesn't want to get caught lying in Congress.
When he asked her the question initially.
DJ, did you catch what I
Let
just
me
said?
make my point, please.
Did you hear my point?
Yes, I'm trying to respond.
What was
to
my
it.
point that I just said? She doesn't
The
want to
point
what?
that You're saying that because she couldn't answer, then the answer is obvious that he's in the files.
Okay.
Is that not what you're trying to say?
Yeah. All right. Cool. What else you got? All right. Because now this is now you know this.
I want to go back to the clip. I want to talk just very briefly. I know you got to go, and I got to go too. Okay. So when he asked her that question about the salacious photos,
and do you want me to tell you what the photo is on the photo? You want me to tell you what's on the photo? It's a picture with Donald Trump with, they say, girls who are not of age, and they're pointing at him, and on his crotch there's some stuff there.
Okay.
I have
not seen these photos.
Yeah, of course you have it, but I just told you. So I want you to have the visual of what
so
you're
I'm supposed
defending.
to take your word for it that these photos exist, Zeus. Is that what you're saying? Kind of like the same photo that you posted the other day with the zip ties. Is that the same thing that I'm just supposed to take your word for it that they exist?
No. No, but you don't
Okay.
ever take my word, but I'm giving you the information that they're
Well, you
referring to,
certainly
because
don't take mine
this is
either.
a lot more serious than the comment section of my videos. This is actually in Congress, DJ. So it's a lot more serious, wouldn't you say?
If you let me finish what I'm going to say, Zeus, I'm trying to agree with you. Okay, but again, you have to look at the context. When he asked her that question, her answer should have been, "Those photos do not exist, to my knowledge, or or either yes, I have seen them." Okay, she should not have spun it off or pivoted to, "Well, what about you taking money from so and so?" Okay, that should not have been her
Okay.
answer.
Okay.
I think it was a valid question. If now again, asking that question gives validity all by itself to the fact that these pictures exist. And I'm not saying that they don't, Zeus. I'm just saying she should have handled that question better. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and I'm glad you can point out what bonding needs to do better, but I really do hope you can acknowledge what you need to start doing better, because we shouldn't have to beat around the bush this long with you, DJ, for you to just start saying things like that show you know how to hold folks
I've
accountable.
always said things like that.
No, no,
Okay,
no,
but
no.
that doesn't mean that I agree with what you're saying.
And so with no, because you do agree, because we just agreed on that. So with that being said, DJ, I just have one more final question. This is going to tell us all we need to know.
I can't wait.
Do you still support Donald Trump, knowing all of this?
I absolutely still support Donald
Okay,
Trump.
all right. I don't got all day to do this, ladies and gentlemen. That's DJ. DJ is a disgusting human being still, and Zeus has no use for him. Hey, DJ. I'll see you next time. But in the meantime and in between time, do us all a huge favor, bro, and go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W Zeus. You got these characters out here. DJ's one of them. Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, they're one of them. And as you all can see, what they are, in my opinion, and I know it's very difficult for all of us to interact with these individuals sometimes. But remember, yesterday we had good news. Christina came out of the fog. And some folks, they need a lot more, you go after the folks that need healing. You don't have to worry about the people that are already healed, right? These folks are sick. But I'll say this though. So DJ and Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, these are going to be the canary in the coal mine. That we're going to all have to monitor and keep our eye on. Oh, Dame too. When these folks start to buckle under all this pressure that Donald Trump is putting them under, guess what? This is when you're going to know there's a huge seismic shift going on out here politically. And you can already hear the tone is changing. Their poll numbers, they're terrible. Republican poll numbers, MAGA poll numbers, they're terrible. You can go look at it on TikTok, right? You can just see the fear in their eyes right now as they continue to say things. You hear them now saying, oh, there are things I don't agree with Trump about. There are things, yeah, they weren't saying that when Trump had that mandate. Look at that MAGA queen. Hey, MAGA queen, go double check the source of that. You say Trump has 57 approval ratings. That's not really true, MAGA queen. It's a lot worse. And I'm saying that as a person that cares about you, MAGA queen. I don't want you to continue to look ridiculous and foolish on this app. All right. Well, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Big Zeus has to get up out of here. I got to get up out of here before I get reported again. And I'm trying to be as reserved as possible. I want to give each and every single one of you a huge, huge, huge round of applause. You're welcome, Ralph. Donald Trump poll numbers, MAGA Queen, they're in the 30s, maybe low 30s, to be honest with you. He's not that popular. His policies aren't popular. They're not working. And MAGA Queen, get this. Your grocery prices are up. You can't fly anywhere because, air traffic controllers, they're not getting paid, so they're not coming into work. You got these tariffs going. So guess what? Inflation is through the roof. Your grocery prices, your utility bills, MAGA Queen, and the government shut down. And while this is all happening, rest assured, you can sleep at night with no food because you don't need food or water. You don't need health care. All you need is to be able to hate Big Zeus. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, join me in giving MAGA Queen and all the Zeus haters out there our final round of, you guessed it, booze and shame.
silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we are out of here. Take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. I will see you tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. But remember, it'll be an abbreviated show because Big Zeus has other plans. We are out of here. Thank you all. Thank you, lady boss. You like that, Cena? They don't want Zeus to be great. I'm convinced TikTok doesn't want Big Zeus to be great because they go after me simply because I'm out here getting in the weeds and trying to help these Trump voters come to their senses. It's a disgrace. Thank you all, seriously. Okay, fine. They asked for it. I'll do it. They want drill, baby, drill. Fine, I'll do it. I'll do drill, baby, drill. Right. We'll do some drill, baby, drill. Then I got to get up out of here. I haven't done it in a while.
Against all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, about a year and a half ago,
it's about
she was
time.
getting killed in the polls. She said, "I like fracking very much, but they always go back to what they want.
They can't help it.
They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical left Marxist. She can't help it.
Right.
But we're going to end that, and we will frack, and drill, baby, drill." Drill, baby, drill. We're going to be drilling so deep. We're going to be, for these guys, we're going to drill. We're going to take out so much money. We're going to pay down our debt. We're going to lower your taxes to insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter, drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack.
Rick. He knows he's gonna bang it. Hey, Tara. Hey, hit him with it. She said, "I like fracking very much. Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical." And we're gonna end that, and we will. Hey, let's go. Rick. Let's go. We're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes. The insane asylum. And drill, baby, drill. Hey, let's go. Hey, look at MAGA Queen out here trying to get some of this drill action. No, you can't have none, MAGA Queen. We ain't handing out no drills to you. You gotta sit there in the back. Let's go. All right, here it goes. You know they go crazy when I say what?
The late, great Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, W. Hart.
Why would he mention Hannibal
Yeah, why would he mention
Lecter?
Hannibal Lecter? Huh? What are you
They're
gonna
gonna
do?
lower your taxes. Deep, insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great
Hannibal. And all of you, thank you all. Deep insane asylums, you know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Hey, you drill. Hey, alter ego. What we gonna do? We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say. Here it goes. All right, baby, check this out. You see how MAGA Queen looking? She real thirsty over there, right? Because she got broke jokes like Tiny Takes Out Tim giving her advice. You don't want to hang out with those losers. Come hang out with Big Zeus. Because guess what we gonna do? We gonna drill, baby, drill like you wouldn't believe. And then we're gonna pay off all your debt and lower your taxes with some fracking. Because I know you like a lot of that fracking, all right? And we got plenty of it where I'm from, all right? W audit today. Yeah, we love the radicals over here. We love the radicals over here. All right, we don't need none of those folks out there saying I'm Charlie Kirk. No, we do the radical thing over here, and we drill extra hard and extra deep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get up out of here. Take care. Stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing.